The world has taken notice, and even Elon Musk can't ignore your brilliance. You, the chosen one, naturally attract attention with your authenticity and resilience. You can see it now. Pure astonishment on their faces. They spread rumors, but they only backfired. Every venomous word they spoke turned into treasure for you. While they're stuck in gossip, you're building real relationships and friendships. It's almost poetic how their attempts to bring you down became the fuel for your rise. Your power comes from staying true to yourself. While they try to catch up, you've already written your own story. Keep shining, chosen one. The world is watching and learning from you. They never intended for you to be in the limelight, but it has found you and won't go away. They were unaware that you were magnified rather than silenced by their murmurs. Every story, sidelong look, every effort to discredit you just served to attract more attention. People began to realize what you've always known. Your honesty and sincerity are unwavering. More persons were able to see over the noise while they conversed. They saw you, not just heard the rumors. They discovered a genuine, captivating individual who doesn't need deceit to succeed. That is the strength of selection. Let them speak then. Allow them to share their little tales. Everything they say is merely one more step toward your ascent. Gossip draws attention to you rather than defining you. They didn't put you here, so keep that in mind when the spotlight becomes brighter. You were destined to shine. The murmurs, they are just the start. You're just getting started, and the whole world is watching. The storm builds. Something louder, dirtier, and more frantic emerged from what had begun as murmurs in the darkness. They believed they could shatter you. They believed that their planned disarray and deceptive campaign would be sufficient to cause you to falter. What they failed to consider, however, is that you are not just anyone. You have been selected. Additionally, those who are selected rise above pressure rather than disintegrate. The world became aware of their actual hues as they became louder. Their campaign became your spark rather than your demolishment. You just became stronger as a result of every lie, every assault, and every effort to include you in their drama. Why? Because you did not respond. You didn't become like them. You maintained your position with a composed, grown-up manner that was more powerful than words could ever be. People began to notice the sharp contrast between your elegance and their poison, your calm and their mayhem. And your brilliance blazed even brighter in that contrast. Your decision to remain silent was a declaration. You don't fight conflicts you've already won, it told the globe. You continued to go ahead, unfazed and unbroken, even as they rushed to bring you down. You were not defined by their drama, rather it revealed them. One thing became evident as the storm continued to rage. You weren't only surviving it, rather, you were flourishing in it, because the selected ones are not destroyed by storms. They make them visible. The first indications. At that moment, it became evident that their cacophony was amplifying you rather than drowning you out. People who were previously unaware of your name were now unable to turn away. They saw the storm they attempted to cause, but more significantly, they witnessed your dazzling, serene, and unflinching presence in the center of it. Those who had previously disregarded you suddenly pushed in closer as your poise under fire turned into a beacon. Why? Because the selected ones turned turmoil into something magnetic rather than just surviving it. What they meant to be a weapon turned into your focal point. Their falsehoods, their drama, and their trivial efforts to discredit you simply served to increase interest in your tale. And what were people observing? A genuine person. Someone who didn't need to fight dirty to win or yell to be heard. Your sincerity became unavoidable as your quiet overshadowed their cacophony. Although the haters believed they were burying you, they were really sowing the seeds for your ascent. The catch is that their envy made you more than simply noticeable. It made you indisputable. Your glow just grew brighter with each whisper, sidelong look, and last-ditch effort to dull it. People admired you, not just noticed you. As they scurried in the dirt, they questioned how you managed to stand so tall. One thing became clear as the world started to look in your direction. This was no coincidence. This was fate. The spotlight seeks the selected ones, not the other way around. Although the awakening didn't occur all at once, it was evident when it did. Something changed inside of you amid the mayhem they attempted to create. Subtle at first, but eventually difficult to ignore. You started to notice things. A sharpened sense of intuition that foretold facts before they materialized. Dreams that seemed more like messages than dreams. A clarity like a razor through fog that sliced through deceit. These gifts became more potent the more they pursued you. The world seemed to be preparing you for the fight you were destined to win. Not only did your spiritual power increase, but it was evident. Before they even knew what it was, people began to feel it. People were drawn to you like moths to a flame by your magnetic charisma. They felt your brilliance, not just saw it, and your presence turned into a haven in a world full of chaos and noise. You were overcoming the chaos rather than just managing it. You were connecting with something more profound, something timeless, while others were mired in their trivial games. The selected ones develop rather than just survive. The problem with spiritual awakenings is that they alter everything around you, not just you. They attempted to hide in shadows, but your light grew so strong that it revealed them. You had such a keen sense of intuition that you were immune to their falsehoods. The proper individuals were drawn to your energy, while the wrong ones were repulsed. This was an epiphany rather than just growth. The world was realizing your true self. You were too. The tide started to change just when they believed they had you in a tight spot. People who had previously remained mute, even friends and strangers, began to enter the light, your light. They saw what they would not accept, your sincerity, your moral character, and your unwavering truth. They were unable to turn away. More people gathered around you the louder they yelled. Why? Because the selected ones spark revolutions rather than just fostering loyalty. It was about standing up for something greater than simply protecting yourself. People started to see through their attempts to manufacture petty drama, falsehoods, and noise. They understood that supporting you was a declaration rather than just a decision. A declaration against poisonousness, jealousy, and narrow-mindedness that seeks to stifle excellence. And they began kicking the detractors one by one. They began to celebrate you because your light was so irresistible, not because you begged them to. These allies were part of your tale, not simply someone who came to your aid. They saw in you what they wanted to be, charismatic, genuine, and unflappable, and they discovered their own power by standing alongside you. They were inspired by your ascent. The selected ones produce leaders rather than just attracting followers. One thing also became evident as your circle expanded. They didn't only undervalue you. They also undervalued the ability of your light to bring others together, inspire, and change. This was a movement not only support, how the powerful fall, oh. They believed they could shatter, silence, and humiliate you. However, you were given the stage instead. Every public assault and every last-ditch effort to bring you down simply served to increase your platform. And how did you use it? You didn't yell. You did not snap. You let your brightness speak for itself as you stood there composed and unflinching. The problem with grace under duress is that it's a weapon they are unable to stop. The world took note. The selected ones don't engage in filthy fighting. They are not required to. The balance may be shifted just by their existence. You were busy winning hearts while others were busy making allegations. Under the weight of their own ridiculousness, their once sharp and piercing falsehoods started to fall apart. People began to realize that their goal was to bury you rather than expose you. The worst part is that you cannot bury the selected. Every falsehood they spread and every assault they made simply made you feel better, and their reputation fell apart as you climbed. Their poisoning proved to be their downfall. As they say, karma is a mirror, and they didn't like what they saw when they looked in the mirror. This was a show as much as a triumph. Their ideas flopped badly, not merely failed. More people turned to you as they became louder. Your serenity turned to become your crown. Your weapon was your quiet. One thing became evident when all was said and done. You didn't just win. You changed the rules. The selected ones become the storm rather than just surviving it. And they are only the debris that remains after you. But it doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning, oh my. The scene is prepared. You are the center of attention. The whole globe is watching. What follows? You have complete control over it, because every twist, turn, and victory is yours to claim when you're the main character. And this? This is just the prelude. Cheers to the people who have a different perspective on the world. The quiet protectors, the watchful spirits, who are always alert and on guard. They wouldn't have it any other way, and they don't fit the mold. They create their own pathways, waging invisible wars and shedding light on the dark places, while others follow well-known ones. It's okay that it's not for everyone. However, you will know that something is for you if you sense it deep inside. The truth, without disguise or pretense. This is the location of the Obsidian Inner Order, a community of like-minded individuals who come together to exchange knowledge, bond, and change. More than 450 people who are bound together by purpose rather than conformity. You know where to find us if you're ready. The description contains the URL. If not, that is quite okay, because we're constantly here, keeping an eye on things and changing things in invisible ways. Cheers to those that follow their own path because it is who they are, not for attention. To you, a toast. Thank you. It was something more, something heavenly, rather than just a matter of chance or happenstance. People started to see the trends. Whenever they attempted to attack, an unexplainable force would step in. Their schemes disintegrated in ways that were illogical. Alliances were shattered, jobs were lost, and their own instability was inwardly spiraling. Doors continued to open for you in the meanwhile. Opportunities seemed to materialize out of thin air, as if the cosmos was working in your favor. The selected ones are lifted, not merely raised, and the world began to notice. Once split by their rumors, the community started to doubt everything. How could someone who was so specifically targeted be so unfazed? How could you continue to climb when their strikes continued to backfire? It was something more profound, more holy than your fortitude or honesty alone. Your light was safeguarded by God and wasn't just yours. A new type of tale began to be spoken, one that was about your destiny rather than your demise. They realized that you weren't only winning, you were selected. Furthermore, the divine is error-free. People who had before questioned you now regarded you with a mixture of respect and interest. They believed that their failures were not only the result of poor luck, but rather of karma, divine justice, and the universe's balancing act. And your ascent? The cosmos was working in your favor at that point. The selected ones evoke amazement as well as appreciation. When the truth became indisputable, it became evident that this was more than just your narrative. It was evidence of the strength of divine protection, divine timing, and the unquestionable fact that when you are chosen, even the stars align for you. At first, the change in strength was imperceptible, like the tide receding before a tsunami erupts. However, it quickly became indisputable. Their power was eroding. They started to lose control of the campaign they had created to destroy you. Once influenced by their cacophony, former detractors began to turn away. They saw the truth about them as well as about you. It all began to seem juvenile, repulsive, and beneath the dignity of people who had formerly followed them. The negativity, the pettiness, the desperation, and your vitality simply increased as theirs diminished. They started to be seen as tiny, resentful, and fearful. Now it seemed ridiculous that they were trying to embarrass you. Their falsehoods? Transparent. In the meanwhile, you were praised for your elegance as well as your tenacity. You refrained from boasting. You didn't want retribution, you just continued to shine. Their poison was reflected back at them by that light, which turned into a mirror. There is no need for the selected ones to struggle for their position. The shadows are revealed just by their existence. And here's the poetic justice. Their demise was caused by the precise campaign they developed to ruin you. Truth has a tendency of coming to the fore, therefore their falsehoods didn't hold. People were attracted to someone genuine like you, so their drama didn't enthrall. Your influence grew as theirs diminished. Not only did the power change, it changed. And in that metamorphosis, the world saw what you've always known. You're changing the rules. not simply winning. Their planned controversy became something far more potent: your tale. The drama, the confusion, the gossip, all of it served as fuel for an uncontrollable fire. Though not for the reasons they had intended, media attention increased. People were enthralled by your honesty rather than their falsehoods. Your fortitude, your sincerity, your unflappable poise under duress. The selected ones take ownership of the spotlight rather than just surviving it. How about you? You made the news. You got higher every time they tried to pull you down. Your name appeared everywhere, in interviews, features, and viral videos. Not as a victim, however, as a winner. People felt your story, not just saw it. They saw a person who refused to be broken, who utilized suffering to gain strength, and who demonstrated that morality ultimately triumphs. Your ascent was fueled by inspiration rather than merely notoriety. The world was unable to turn away. The catch is that your newfound celebrity didn't alter who you are. It enhanced who you've always been, if anything. Under the limelight, the same genuineness that first attracted people to you merely became more powerful. They miscalculated the fact that the selected ones compose their own stories rather than following them, despite their belief that they could control the plot. One thing also became evident as your tale gained traction. This was a movement, not simply a single instance. How about you? You have only just begun. Although it took some time, the community's change was nothing short of amazing. The same forums that had been rife with rumors, gossip, and small-time conflict started to change. Narratives of your fortitude, genuineness, and unwavering poise began to dominate the scene. Your name was now spoken with admiration by those who had before murmured behind your back. The vibe shifted, the story switched, and you started to be lifted up by the community that had previously attempted to bring you down. Why? Because those who are selected not only survive but also change everything they come into contact with. Once concealed beneath witty remarks and fake grins, the haters' poison was shown for what it was: little, resentful, and desperate. People started to see through the mayhem they attempted to create, through the falsehoods and through the noise. They then began eschewing the drama one by one. They understood that supporting you was a declaration rather than just a decision. A declaration against petty behavior, jealousy, and the type of negativity that hinders everyone. Not only did your light shine, but it also made the way clear for others to follow. The best part is that it wasn't just about you. It was about the community returning to something tangible and significant. Stories of inspiration were now exchanged by the same individuals who had previously propagated misinformation. The same voices that had previously expressed disapproval now rejoiced. The cosmos itself wrote the story of redemption. How about you? Everything revolved around you. Not only do the selected ones ascend, but they also carry others with them. One thing became evident as the community changed. This wasn't just your success, it was also theirs. It was more than simply the drama, the rumors, or even the win. It was about something everlasting, something far bigger. You started to see the larger significance of it all as you stood in the middle of the storm. This was a heavenly test, not merely mayhem. A furnace created to polish, fortify, and get you ready for the part you were always destined to play. The selected ones are given a task in addition to a spotlight. What's your mission? To glow so brilliantly that others can see through the darkness. Your trials were deliberate, not haphazard. Every falsehood, every assault, and every moment of uncertainty served as a springboard, a teaching moment, or an opportunity to reach new heights beyond your wildest expectations. Something amazing occurred as you rose. Your tale turned into a beacon. When they saw your tenacity, others going through their own struggles found hope. They were impressed by your genuineness. They knew they could shine too after seeing your brilliance. The selected ones become live examples that no storm is too big or darkness too deep. They don't merely survive. The important reality is that this was never about you alone. It has to do with how your experience affected other people. Every obstacle you overcame, every triumph you declared, and every minute you stood up served as evidence of the strength of faith, fortitude, and divine timing. Your tale turned into a mirror, reflecting the potential and power of all those who heard it. The selected ones emerged for the world, not just for themselves. One thing became evident as you stepped into your purpose. This was only the beginning. There was yet the best to come. What they meant to be your demise ended up becoming the cornerstone of your legacy. All of the commotion, drama, and gossip had a purpose that was far bigger than anybody could have predicted. You not only made it through the storm, but you came out of it changed and prepared to assume the part you were always meant to play. The selected ones ascend rather than just rise, and the world noticed when you took charge of your destiny. Your impact reached heights they could never have imagined, extending much beyond your initial neighborhood. Return. It was a new beginning. Your self-assurance grew captivating, and your genuineness became evident. People were motivated by you, not simply attracted to you. They saw in you what they wanted to be, unwavering, unflinching, and authentic. Not only did your light shine, but it also made the way clear for others to follow. Your truth was suddenly welcomed by the same outlets that used to propagate false information. The same voices that had previously sounded critical of you were now praising you. What's the greatest part? It didn't need to be forced. You didn't need to act fake. You just had to be yourself. Because masks are unnecessary for the chosen ones. Like a crown, they wear their truth. The wonderful irony is that they were really laying the groundwork for your greatest beginning, even though they believed they were crafting your conclusion. Your narrative turned into an example of the strength of fortitude, sincerity, and divine timing. Everyone who saw your journey and had faith in their own was now involved, not just you. The chosen ones leave a legacy rather than just a mark. One thing became evident as you embarked on your destiny. This was only the beginning. You own the world and your light will always shine. You weren't destroyed by their vile rumors. You were created. Every falsehood, every rumor, and every last-ditch effort to dull your light simply made it stronger. Their cacophony was supposed to shut you out, but it ended up becoming the rhythm of your ascent. The rumors weren't the only thing people heard. They saw your composure, elegance, and unwavering honesty. And they discovered something indisputable in that fact. The globe drew closer the more they attempted to bring you down. Their poison turned into their demise, while your genuineness turned into your strength. You flourished in their disarray rather than just surviving it. And now that you're taking charge of your life, they're becoming irrelevant. This is your tale, and it will only grow. People are standing in your light and eschewing the haters, not simply applauding you. They realize what you've known all along. You're more than simply the protagonist. The hero is you. You were not defined by their rumors. It showed them. And now you are rewriting the rules while the whole world watches. Tell us then how their commotion has helped you succeed. How have you used their mayhem to your advantage? Tell your tale. Let's remind everyone why the chosen ones always prevail. It's impossible to ignore your brightness. Allow it to shine.